Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is the one, the only B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host that is far too real for TV.
What's good, everyone? This big country. I know I need to start speaking a little more when it comes up to the beginning of the podcast, but we're gonna get there.
We're gonna work on it. I believe. Yeah. Well, you usually jump topics off first. It's an expectation.
It's that give and take motion.
Yeah, you know, because that's what it's about. We're gonna jump right into it. Shooting the breeze. Should you expect your partner to always take your side?
No. I would think anybody that always takes someone's side would be a little crazy.
No.
I love my wife to death. When I had girlfriends, I genuinely care about my girlfriends. I do care, but I'm never going to jump on someone's side when they're dead wrong. Now, am I going to cause controversy, things like that? No. Like, I'll bring it up earlier about if your mother and your wife got into it, all I'm trying to do is stop this conflict. And that should be the same way whether it was the other way around.
Right. I believe if your wife and your mother are having a conflict, step one, dead the situation. Because at that point, the fact that y'all are at odds is, from my lens, it's disrespectful to me, because it's not like I'm gonna stop loving my mother, and it's not like, and there's no way I'm gonna stop loving my wife. So y'all need to figure out how to keep it cordial and peaceful.
Yeah. For
me, on my behalf, because like I said, you should be moving in my best interest. Vice versa, I will be moving to yours. So I ain't finna go to your folk house and cause no stress, no drama. If me and your father had a heated argument, I'm gonna just be like, you know what? We under your roof. I'm gonna just get out your way. Hey babe, I'm gonna head to the house. You got a little heated, you know.
Exactly, but that's how it should be. Whether it, like, if it's family and things like that, okay, I'm gonna make sure this situation gets dead, because I'm like, nobody needs to say nothing that's going to cause too much issues, because whether it's my wife, whether it's my mother, because I gotta live with both of you. I'm like, till the day I die, I'm going to never stop loving my mother, and as long as me and my wife, and I hope to the day I die, she'll be my wife.
Right.
But I'm like, you two ain't going to bicker back and forth about this, and then I got to sit here and deal with this, because this would be more mess.
Right. I don't condone. As a dude, your objective, in my humble opinion, is to, reduce mess and clutter in your life. Yeah. Like, anything that's gonna cause unnecessary stress, remove it. If I know you I'm so to the point, if you got a homegirl that every time you get with her, you always gotta argue, you always gotta yell, and y'all acting crazy out in public, you want to go and fight her every time you see her, I'm gonna tell you, nah, in that relationship, because it ain't beneficial to you.
You don't need to have her as your friend.
Reason being, if you go to jail, then your friend don't suffer.
Yeah.
It just don't happen like that. Only people gonna be doing without is me and mine. So you ain't part of her clan. You part of her friend group. And groups can split up at any time.
Yeah.
Okay? But when you in this family is we a family unit. We gotta move like we move. So do I feel like you should take your partner's side at every turn? No. If you out there and you in the club environment, or you out there amongst strangers and you doing something that's out of the ordinary and it's clear cut wrong, I take it upon myself, let me go and correct this real quick before someone else, because I know when I do it, it's out of love, and it's just to get you back in a safe space and stop,
See, but I think that's part of the things, because I look at, like, if it's two men in this space who are on equal footing and stuff like that. But of course, a man is willing and going to protect his woman. I would hope so.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I'm not going to sit here. I've never been the controversial guy where, my wife said hit him, I'm gonna hit him. I'm like, no. That's some immaturity. That's some stupid stuff. Now, I will never let another man disrespect my wife. I don't care what man it is.
Right.
But I'm like, I'm gonna try to dead a situation before I have to get
force.
Yes, use force in this situation.
Right.
Now, if this man or this person, because don't get me wrong, I do not believe in hitting women, but if it's between my woman and that woman, I hold her.
Yeah,
I'm gonna just hold her. Hey,
I'm telling the truth, fam, bro.
It's like
I'm not. Look, don't come here, but we are one, fam.
Yeah.
So you get to trying to hit on my way, male and or female, I'm gonna hit you, fam. It just is what it is. And I know people gonna be like, you hit a woman. I'm not hitting a woman. My wife is hitting a woman through me.
Man,
that's what's happening.
Honestly, my issue with that is my hand's way too big.
Yeah, you might sleep.
It's like I don't like doing harm to people. I genuinely care about people. I'm one of them dudes that's like genuinely, I want people to be happy, go lucky. You know, you go play with your friends, have a good time. I wish everybody was happy, but I know the world's not that way. So how I look at it, I'm going to protect me and mine. If I consider you a friend, I got your back. If you cause me some issue being your friend, obviously I have to distance myself from you as a friend.
Right.
Like, if you a friend that I always got to fight behind, obviously you don't mean me no well.
I view that as you constantly put me in these situations where, hey, I might be put behind bars. I might not go home to my family. My primary thing is when my clan go out, my clan come back.
Yeah.
So under that thought process, some stuff may be viewed as a little irrational. Like I said, if you go out there and I know you dead wrong, I'm not going to let you continue down that path. Hey, it's time to go. And when I say it's time to go, I'm not saying it in a way to be like, oh, you got an option in this. No. We need to go. We need to go right now.
Time to go.
Get in the car. When you get in the car, then I'll begin the whole... Because some stuff that go on between us, no, the people don't need to see this. I'm not a TV set. Ain't nobody directing this outside of myself. And I didn't put for TV in my relationship. So no, I don't need no audience when I'm telling you why you wrong or why I feel you wrong. Because I always give you that open dialogue to tell me now what you didn't see. Because I can't see everything from, every angle.
So, I was talking to my wife and some of her friends and all that stuff about it. And I'm like, there's certain things, I'm like, no, my word is law. It's not, wait a minute, let me think about it kind of moment. I'm like, no, because my idea is I have the best interest of this family above all. It's not about your feelings, not about my feelings, it's about what's best for this family. So if I'm like, hey, let's go. And I use the example of if I'm for me, I never like having my back to a door. Right. And the reason why I don't like having my back to the door because I want to be able to see what's at that door first thing. If I see something going on, because as I grew up as a product of my environment, as being Mr. Willie's son, because my dad taught me a lot of those things, I always have to be on guard. I have to be on my P's and Q's. So if I'm out somewhere and I see something that's amiss, I'm going to react right then. Right. Baby, get under the table. It's not time for you to say, why should I have to get under the table? There isn't a why. It's get under the table, shut up. Let me do what needs to be done. If somebody break in my house and I say, get the kids. Wow, why can't we go together? I'm like,
because some stuff I gotta do.
Yes.
And when I say it, because a lot of people want to take it as a dude just trying to be macho, shows provider. No. What people really need to realize about men, and when I say men, I'm not talking about that alpha male crap. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about men. Period. We don't need no titles, no extra. The title itself, men, was good enough. It covered every spectrum when it comes to relationship. Men wish to see the people they love do well.
Yeah.
Men wish to see the people they love survive. in the best situation. So,
and men will die behind their beliefs.
And because of that, when I tell you to get down, I don't need you to question that, because then you question my love for you. That's how I take it. You question my love for you. If I told you to get down, you automatically should know he not gonna tell me to get down because he want to embarrass me. That is never my mission. He ain't telling me to get down because he want to flex. I ain't got no reason to flex on you. I chose you. If I gotta treat you like a dog to be with you, then hey, you shouldn't get with me in the first place. I don't have to belittle you or lessen who you are in any way. When I'm out with you, my overall primary objective is, like I said, when the clan go out, the clan come home. Yeah. And my role in this relationship, because hey, I'm not really for that gender role thing, but for certain parts of it, it's inexcusable. You can't switch it. When it comes down to it, when it comes to the protection role, I'm the guy who gets punched. Yeah. I'm the guy who gets shot. I'm the one who gets stabbed if it come there. That's not gonna wood. I don't want to get stabbed or shot. But at the same time, if the damage is coming to the household, I'm the one prepared to take those licks. I ain't get married with you for you to have leathery hands. I ain't get married with you to have blood on them either. True. When you got with me, you said protection. I guarantee you, if you gonna really come to me and talk about protection, when I make certain statements, it ain't a macho show. It is, this is what you asked for, and this is what's required for me to give you that. Get down.
So I look at it more of a, it is or it isn't. There is no middle ground with me on certain things. Right. Like when it comes to protection for my family, I'm going to protect you against this world. I'm going to protect you against yourself if I need to. Right. That's what protection is. Protection isn't, oh, well, in this standard right here, you'll fight for me. But in this one, you'll let me. No. I'm going to protect you. I want your best interests. So when it comes to talking back and forth, is my wife going to always be right in my eyes? No. Certain things I'm going to be like, no, that's my wife being my wife. Other things I'm going to be like, hey, baby, no, you taking it too far. You going too far. Yes, I've had to tell my wife that. Sometimes my wife will have to tell me that. And I have to sit there and think about it. It's like, did I really go too far? Mm-hmm. I asked somebody, was it tripping? There's numerous times where I've called you on the phone and be like, hey, bro, am I tripping? Like, be honest. Was I wrong for this? I explained the situation. Well, you shouldn't have took it that way. I mean, I understand why you thought that, but look at it from this point of view. Look at it from this idea. Like, okay, I can understand those things. But if you always have to be on your spouse's side, they always have to be right, or you always have to be right, that goes into that whole narcissistic mindset. Right. Oh, well, no matter what, nobody can tell me nothing. Right. That means you're only looking out for your best interests.
Right. And I want to make sure that people don't get this portion misconstrued. Well, misconstrued. I'm sorry. I said misconstrued.
It happens. They knew what you meant.
You know what I meant. But what I'm saying is this. In a business setting, if this is your business and you running and doing your thing and you got to go and you got to talk stern to somebody, that's a professional setting. That's a business setting. Now, don't get out there and get to disrespecting this person, because at the end of the day, the same way you somebody's loved one, they somebody's loved one too. So I ain't. Yeah. But you going to conduct your business how you conduct your business, right? Out here in the streets, though, my wife's not finna get out here and get to yelling at some dude for no reason. Yeah. No. If you gotta come left at him, you need to come tell me.
And let me
go do that.
Like, and I 100% agree with that. I understand. But we can't play this as it's the same thing. Business world and real world are two different worlds. Business world, you could finesse your way in and out of a lot of different areas. In the real world, some people ain't gonna play with you. That's like when I can't stand when I see somebody poking their finger in a dude face, trying to charge him up, or if they slap him, I'm like, be lucky if,
he has to. I'd rather put trust in my force than his restraint.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, especially with the kids these days, the generation these days. Yeah. A lot of them been raised from emotional state. Like they emotions are radical. It's left or it's right, or it's never centered. It's never, quite like, hey, I'm a rational thinker. Sometimes I need to go this way, that way. No. You yelling at me, I instantly gotta yell back. You point your finger at me, I instantly gotta point. And that's for men, women, children, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then when you start taking that, and like I said, every man has to view himself as a loaded gun. The gun being loaded is really not a problem. It's the person who's wielding it.
Yeah.
So if you going around and you always ready to pop off and knock somebody out, then you gonna send a couple shots and it's gonna hit a few bystanders. So instead of you going to that fight over there and you thinking, oh, I'm gonna just tell him and speak my mind and all that, and then he gonna swing on you. At that point now, he's dead wrong, but you was dead wrong too.
Yeah. Don't
get it confused, because like I said, my clan go out, my clan come back.
Yeah.
Once we get once I get all this situated, understand it's gonna be a conversation.
Yes.
And it's gonna be a really one-sided conversation. In the future, ain't no way on God's green earth that you go and you start pointing at a weapon. Don't do that. Because what's necessary to handle that situation, if it does go left, you ain't necessarily equipped with that. Come tell me. Mm-hmm. And then I'll go address him.
But that was that old, some things I felt were better old school. It was the old school saying, as a woman, you're not going to go check this man. You have your man go check that man.
Right.
And it's like, my grandmother used to say all the time, it's like, I know my lane, he know his lane.
Right.
Because if some pop off, baby,
you know you got
he got that. If he don't got that, you shouldn't be with that man.
Exactly.
But I'm like, vice versa. Like, oh, if something happened with another woman, hey, baby, I'm gonna let you talk to us so it don't be an issue or things like that. Because she may think, oh, I'm being too aggressive and all this other kind of stuff. So you talk to her, and
and if you don't want to talk to her, I guess we gonna get up out the space.
Exactly.
Now don't get it confused. I ain't gonna keep running. I ain't gonna run from everything now. Yeah. If I'm righteous, I'm righteous.
And that's true. But the thing, what we keep playing, like, oh, you have to sit here and listen to me. I would never want. That's like, if I know I live in a bad neighborhood, why would I not have a gun? Why would knowing for a fact you in a bad neighborhood,
right? Why
wouldn't you have the means to protect yourself?
Yeah.
And yes, your man is part of your means to protect yourself.
Men in the beginning were their home security system.
Yeah.
You had to get a spike when you start getting all these single mother homes. It's like, hey, I need somebody to be coming to assist me because I probably can't get all my kids out of here in time. Yeah. But for the most part, don't get it confused. Men, you need your security system too because, hey, backup is real. But for the most part, no. If we out here and we out dealing with other people, there's certain conversations and conflicts that I handle, and it's not to belittle you or put anything beneath. But at the end of the day, if one of us not going home, it's gonna be me. You deal with it from the car. If I get hurt, call the ambulance, whatever it might be. But I don't need you hurt or damaged in any way.
Yeah.
Because when I told your dad I got it from here, I meant that.
True.
And ain't no way I'm gonna have you go back to the Christmas party and you walking around with a black eye. And they gonna be like, who hit her? Was it you? Be like, it wasn't me.
You know, they have that, and nobody believes the story about a black eye.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's like, that's what your man. That's part of the perks of it.
It's protection.
Yes, it's like, oh.
But what goes with that protection is respect.
Yeah.
Because in order to be properly protected, you got to respect. The reason they say respect the flag is because the flag is being backed by the military.
Yeah.
So when we send men off the war or people off the war to die, it's like, oh, that's the sacrifice they're making on your behalf.
True.
So if nothing else, respect the flag because that's their symbol. When your man is telling you, hey, that's something we need to get on, we're not going to deal with that. We're going to go on about our business. Respect the protection.
I agree.
Easy. Jumping in, you know what grinds my gears. Rent a Center is renting out Jordans for $20 a week. These Air Jordan 5 Racer Blue sell for about $300 on secondary sneaker sites. So we went from renting rims, which I thought renting rims was foolish, but hey,
I thought so too.
But now we renting out shoes.
Like, this is what pisses me off. Not all the rental centers are doing it, but some of them are. Why the hell would you rent shoes?
Either you got it or you don't got it.
And I was like, that's crazy. Why the hell would you gonna some Jordans? So for $19.99 a week, you can have these Jordans on. And then, what is it, after a year, you have the option to buy them. $19.99 a week. That makes no sense.
I just feel like if people was able to deal with delayed gratification and you could just every week set aside $20, it wouldn't take that long for you to have the money necessary to purchase a pair that you can wear and till the end of time.
The idea that I'm just saying is, if you're renting it, I understand you renting necessities. Like, oh, you need a refrigerator. Oh, you need a couch. Oh, you need these kind of things to actually live a bed.
Yeah.
Renting a home. Renting shoes.
Bro, go buy yourself some Reeboks, sit down somewhere. Go buy yourself some Vans and call it a day. The problem is, if you gotta rent shoes, I just expect you don't have the financial backing necessary to purchase them outright. So I'd rather you go get you some regular old Walmart shoes and go to work. And then after you get your check, go buy your shoes.
It gets to that point where you like, what the hell are people doing? It's like, hold up. You can't afford shoes.
Right.
So you'll rent some shoes.
You'll rent some shoes. Keep in mind, you rent shoes, but if you can't afford the shoes, I know you ain't buying food. I know you ain't buying quality food for your home.
But then, what happens if you default on the shoes?
They're going to repo them.
They're going to repo the shoes.
Hey, run that.
Let me get them Jordans.
Get them off your feet right now. What if you scuffed the shoe? You scuffed my J?
See, it's too much weirdness going on.
It don't even make sense.
And I'm like, why would you want to rent shoes? Why would you want to rent? Like, that's like renting clothes. Why would you rent things like that? Now, you can go to a thrift store, buy some shoes, buy some clothes. Simple, cheap, all that kind of stuff.
Still look good.
But yet it's like we're too busy trying to keep up with somebody else.
Right.
It's like, because you care that much about your shoes that, I gotta get these J's. So since I can't afford these J's, I'm gonna rent out these J's.
It's just like, it's like a flesh colored Band-Aid. You wrap your finger up and everybody looking at it like, oh, well, we know you got cut.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you ain't fixing the root of the problem. You ain't fixing up. You need to let that cut breeze up. Hey, sometimes you need to walk around with some regular shoes, bro.
Yeah.
Bring yourself to this reality, put some oxygen to that life and see, hey, now it's healing. I understand that I'm not financially where I need to be. So instead of going around making it look like I'm in good shape, I'm hurting, bro.
Yeah.
My pockets, they touching, and I need if you gotta so concerned and can't kick with me because you don't like the shoes I got on, turn me on to a better job. I'd rather you walk into that renter center and be like, can I get a job application than can I get them
But
Jordans?
there's something I would see kids doing, like renting some shoes. Like you'll see kids switch shoes, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm like, okay. But as an adult,
I'm not gonna do that.
Like, what the hell for? Oh, well, I couldn't afford these shoes. This is like, maybe you didn't need them shoes.
It's like the woman who wears makeup but doesn't have a skincare routine.
Yeah.
I'm like, at a certain point, you could just better your skin to where you can get it to look the way you want it to look. Don't get me wrong, little enhancement here and there, that's your prerogative, do you. But at the same time, if the foundation you're working with is scarred up and marred up and all that, it's no point. Eventually, you're gonna have to live with the uncomfortable truth. You couldn't afford the shoes, and you wasn't gonna wash your face enough.
Yeah.
So I just feel like the whole thought process on renting shoes is more this Instagram model thing. You want instant gratification. You scared to work.
But that's just like the whole when they were renting rims. I'm like, bro, if you can't afford the rims, just don't have the rims.
Because now I used to hate it because I'm like, you putting rims on cars that, like, that car gonna break down. That transmission can't support them rims.
Yeah.
Your car broke down yesterday.
I couldn't.
And they got rims
Like,
on?
I remember mid-2000s, dudes had 26s on, like, regular cars, like, Altima. But what the hell you put 26s on Altima for?
What the
And what was bad, because the Altima, the wheel itself was too small, so you had to cut out the frame in order to fit this on there. So you couldn't make no deep turns.
No.
Or it would scrape and rub and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, come on.
At a certain point, you just need to be realistic. Bruh, I got a car.
Yeah.
Stock and factory is quite okay. Now, for those people who, hey, if you got it like that and you want to put rims on it, most of the time, those people got that money and they putting these rims on this car and they gon' what I used to hate, and it happened a lot in Alabama, Mobile. People that have $3,000 rims on their car.
Yeah.
But the car can't drive. Engine is jacked up. Got paint, rims, interior, but you never did nothing with the engine.
That's crazy.
You spent
You could put all that money.
You didn't have to put all that money in there. You could have put half that money into the engine, and the car gonna roll, get you some more money, and come back for the rims. But you would rather look like you got. That's what I hate. People are so obsessed with the image that the actual quality of it is garbage.
But, Kanye West said we all self-conscious.
But we gotta stop that. I'm not. What I want to ask Kanye West is self-conscious for what?
Well,
if you self-conscious and you constructive.
Like, you remember It All Falls Down.
I do.
He was talking about, the people highest up got the lowest self-esteem. The prettiest people do the ugliest things.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, even if you in a bench, you still nigga in a coupe.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that people don't understand. It's like you could do all these things to try to build yourself up and be this stuff. If your mind's not there,
It means it's for not. It's for nothing.
and it's weird because people are like, oh, well, I could flash on someone. I could do this. If you can afford it, cool. But the people that really can't afford those things ain't flashing on nobody with them.
What I'm saying is, when you look at people who have and the people who do not have, the people who have, I don't need to flash it because that's just putting a red beacon on me.
Yeah.
That's pointing out that I got it. So everybody who ain't got it looking to me if they want to get it.
True.
But all us people at the bottoms trying to get it, we so obsessed with the image of having it. Instead of, no, forget that.
You remember
Let me
when
actually
dudes
go
had
get
the
it.
Gucci belts and the Louis Vuitton belt?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, I gotta go buy this Louis belt. Bruh, I'm like, explain to me why you wearing this belt with everything. It don't even go with everything.
Yeah.
But there's somebody over there like, oh man, you see the Louis, you see the Gucci, or you see them same shoes. You've been rocking them exact same shoes everywhere.
Every day, all the time.
It's like, oh,
you can't switch up. But instead of buying multiple pairs of shoes, hey man, you know what? I spent my whole check on these shoes, bro. If your check can't buy more than one pair of shoes, you need. I'm just like, there's bigger things to worry about.
The idea, okay, because I've been to, I go to a luxury store sometimes. Sometimes I may buy some here and there. But it's because I can afford to buy here and there sometimes. Right. Sometimes I'm like, nah, that's not going to happen. I don't even know why I'm in here.
What I'm saying is I'll go into the store and I'll have it. And be like, and I could spin it and it won't hurt.
Well.
And I just be like, I ain't going to do it right now. But that
okay, but that's partly because you into electronics.
Yeah,
I'm into different clothes.
Yeah,
so
I can't walk in the Best Buy and do the same.
Yeah, so we got to fix that. Don't let it get twisted. No. He'll buy some expensive stuff. It's just electronical stuff. I like clothes and stuff, but don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go above and beyond paying some crazy price. I remember one of my mentors. He was my pastor growing up. He would go into a Louis Vuitton store and buy like 2 pairs of shoes. And please understand, these weren't the low budget shoes. These like $4,000, $5,000 pair of shoes. And I'm like, what? When Air Force Ones came back out with Nelly, he was like, well, hell, can I just buy them all? Like, why I gotta wait each month to get a new pair when I can just buy them all this month? And I'm like, I wish I could do that, but I can't do that.
Yeah.
I know where I'm at. I know where he at.
See, if you're going to be self-conscious, be self-aware.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just a person who really believes you got to know where you at, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not here, like, trying to tell me the type of moves I should be making based on your lifestyle is really irrelevant to me. Because I'm like, bro, you move like you move and I move like I move, but I'm moving for my best interest. I can't keep up with you because I'm not running in your race. Everybody got to get past this idea, this thought process that we actually in this thing together.
Yeah.
Like, as the United States and the people trying to build a country, sure.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it is an individual journey. Ain't no group tickets to heaven. It's like either you in or you out. Yeah. So when it come down to your life, do you have it together? And if you got it together, then you move a certain way. If you don't got it together, you need to be doing everything in your power to get your stuff together. You need to find your way.
Yeah.
I'm not here to keep up with the Jones.
Getting your stuff together is not renting everything you got, especially not frivolous, meaningless objects. Like, I'm sorry, those Jordans that you may pay $600-$700 for. Don't get me wrong. I got about 15-20 pair of Jordans in my closet. Okay, it is what it is. And yes, I could afford to buy it. I buy it because I want to buy it. Mm-hmm. But the idea is, if I would ever for a moment think these Jordans, I would have to rent them out, or I couldn't afford them and my family or anything would go without. Why the hell would I pay?
I'm gonna do it.
Like, that makes no sense to go without. For some frivolous, it takes $30 to make Jordans. If you do not know, go look it up right now. You can go on Google right now, type in how much does it cost to make a pair of Jordans. It costs between $16 to about $35 to make Jordans. When they ship them over to America, they put tax, which is a tariff, on them. For those who do not know, then you're paying for the name. So when you pay for the name and you paying for the tax for them to come over, then they just jack up the price. $180, $185, $235 with tax included if you're buying retros, things like that. If you get them for a reseller, they'll sell them for a different amount. I remember one of my friends, BG, he was on the podcast at one point in time. He bought a pair of Jordans, left them in his trunk. Them mugs melted. How the hell your shoe melt?
It's Texas.
I know it's hot. Don't get me wrong. It's
Texas.
It's hot in Texas, but for $230,
It better not melt.
It better not melt.
But I just feel like, don't get me confused. I see the allure of the shoe, and especially when you're going out and you trying to make an impression on somebody. Those who wear the shoes, they know what they looking at. Like when they see it, they be like, "Oh yeah!" Instantly, you can build a rapport with people of like mind. Like, yeah, I like luxury items. This is how they move, right? So I see the allure, but I don't want you to get out there and you dealing with a real sneakerhead.
Yeah.
And then you show up with the renter and you don't really have you don't really know everything. You just know this a nice pair of shoe and the people got them for rent, so they must be luxurious. And you can't really have that conversation with that person because all they're gonna do is weed you out real quick.
Yeah.
Like, I feel the real gonna instantly separate from the fake. It's gonna separate. The cream gonna rise to the top. So when you get out there and you get talking this nonsense about some quoting prices that you don't know, they gonna look at you like, nah, bro, you gonna kill a conversation before it is.
Yeah.
I'd rather you go out there with where you at, and you need to find another point of contact to talk to that certain person.
Find your avenue. Find out things that you like to do. Like, for example, I can't go to art world. Don't get me wrong. I'm very knowledgeable, and I could speak about a lot of different things. I have a great vernacular and a great understanding when it comes to any and everything. But am I going to go to an art show and an art gallery talking to somebody that paints pictures say, oh, man, well, these brush strokes should have been... They're going to look at me real quick. It's like, who's you?
Who are you?
I'm like, why are you? And why are you critiquing my artwork?
But the crazy thing about it is, as an artist... If somebody came up to me and tried to explain to me how to paint a picture, I'm going to look at them like, okay, that's cool. Now, if you ask me, am I taking them serious? Probably not. I ain't going to disrespect you because, hey, I know a large portion of this art world is based on your perspective and what you see. But the technique I chose, you need to... If you're going to go and talk to me about art, you need to ask me why I did something. Because it's not the artwork that you're looking at. It's the thought process of the artist that you're really looking into.
Yeah.
So if I did a brushstroke that you don't find favorable, it'd be far more appropriate for you to ask, why would an artist who we know can paint this way, paint that way? Yeah. That's the real question. Why would you make this look different? Because it could be to emphasize a point. It could be anything. So but if you're talking to somebody who, oh, I'm gonna rent this picture to put up in my house, he don't know. Yeah, I don't know nothing about this picture. I just know.
I just knew it costs this. So
it draws a crowd when I put it up. So let me put it up for this week, and then I'm gonna hand it to my homeboy next week, and he could do. Like, no, bro, I don't want to do all that because I don't want nobody to feel like there's nothing in my house more important to me. Yeah. And there's nothing so important in my house that I gotta rent it in order for you to see that I have it. The house itself, hey, shelter is important. Yeah. The food, because food is consumable, it's not necessarily you can't rent food. So yeah, I'm gonna eat good. Yeah. I'm gonna eat good, I'm gonna sleep good, and I'm gonna take good care of my people. But I ain't gonna rent no diamond ring for my wife. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go buy you the ring that I can afford. If the ring that I can afford is not something that can keep you here and you feel like you need to leave me because I can't buy you the ring you need, understood.
And you saved me.
You got to see the value in me. Mm-hmm. I don't do the gold chain. It was a point in my life where I was like, yeah, everything got to shine and glisten on me. But I feel like a large portion
what was that called? Gaudy. Yeah. Things had to be very gaudy. You had iced out watches, iced out chains, and everything.
Straight from that mall kiosk.
Yep. And what's bad was, we all have our little techniques. We all have things. I like clothes. So for me, it's like if I find something I like, or I'm like, oh, well, cool. I go give somebody stuff. I'm like, okay, cool. I gave a lot of my friends. It's not because I'm like, oh, I want them to know I have the best clothes. It's like, no. It's like I like clothes. I like the way that look. Hey, here you go, bro.
But you see, when you do it and you doing it from a space of, I like it, so I get it. It's not, I ain't showing, I don't care if nobody see what's in my closet. I don't care what nobody see what's on my body. I know what I got on my body and I like it.
Exactly.
That separates the people. It's people out there who get it to look like they got it or look like they like it or try to attract a certain type of person. And then it's people who, I am that person, and naturally there's a magnetic field, a magnetic attraction to people of like mind to me.
Yeah. And I agree with it. It's just,
I just don't like people being fake.
It's like, how you gonna rent your shoes?
No, I'm not renting shoes. I'm not renting shoes. I'm not renting jewelry. I'm not renting clothes. I'm not
because
renting.
Those are meaning. Like, when you rent something that you truly need, like, again, you rent an apartment, you rent furniture. Those are things you need unless you want to sleep on the floor.
But you don't.
That make no sense.
Right. I want the people when they come into my house to be comfortable. I don't care that if you like the couch or not. When you sit on it, was it comfortable? Mm-hmm. Good. That's my primary concern.
But
your comfort.
Understand, when you're renting these things, make sure that's what you need, not what you just trying to show off.
Right.
Because shoes, out of all things, shoes.
I'm not gonna rent no shoes, bro.
Bro, you go Payless, right? Is Payless still open?
No, Payless gone.
Okay,
Payless
so
gone.
I'm sorry. And Just for Feet gone too. What's the
is Foot Action still around?
Yeah, Foot Action still around. I think they still got Foot Action around. But you could buy a pair of shoes. You could go to the Nike outlet, buy a pair of shoes for $30-$40. Cool.
Keep them clean.
All you need.
Keep them clean, and they're gonna do you just fine. You still gonna be able to talk to the caliber of people you wish to talk to. You just ain't gonna be able to talk about shoes. But the truth is, you ain't at a space to where shoes is the conversation you need to be having in the first place.
But hell, if you're not at the shoe thing, everybody good at something.
That's what I'm saying. Lean in on what you good. Be you. That's the part. Be you. What you like and what you do.
Yeah.
That's gonna attract more qualified people in your life than any of that fake junk you be doing. Any of that. Trying to please people who don't really rock with you ain't gonna do nothing but put you in a bad space. It was one statement a person said, you getting more mess giving all the information about you to people you like than giving all the information to people who like you. But if nobody ever know who you is, how do you know if they like you or not?
Yeah.
So meet me where I'm at. If my shoes is just some regular old Adidas and I ain't got the Yeezys, let me live. Am I a quality person? I'm the most expensive thing on me at all times. I don't care if I'm rocking jewels or not. You want to know me because of who I am. We gonna jump into You Won't Believe This, and You Won't Believe This is brought to you by.
As always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. I ask y'all to check out Wasted Desires. You could go wasteddesires.com. They have waist beads, anklets, bracelets, thigh chains, all those things to make your body glisten and shine. You could go Traces Like Mine, Yanni Like Mine. If you go to Traces Like Mine, Like Mine is hair care products from a black woman for black people. And she has shampoos, conditioners, oils, different things to help your body and hair shine. Check her out on Facebook or Instagram. And then Yanni Like Mine. Yanni Like Mine. Do not know what your Yanni is, ladies. Please look it up. It does not clean itself.
Understood. And
shout out to Brittany Bossing Up. Empower You, that is Empower You. And Crown Up. She is a counselor that does things for the community. She's been on the podcast a couple of times. We will be on her podcast sometime soon. Y'all look her up. She has an Instagram, Facebook. She's supposed to be coming out with a couple of other things. And she has a couple of books that we've had in front before.
Yeah, on display. Yeah.
Yes. So please check her out. Support, like, Shout out to Nate Price, Grit and Grind. I see him out there doing his things. I'm trying to get swole like that because I'm like trying to be baby oil ready for Jamaica.
Understood.
Derek Kelsey. Yes, shout out Derek Kelsey. He is a personal trainer. Like ex-football player, he's done a lot for the community. He helps a lot of young people fulfill their dreams of getting scholarships. Shout out to my boy Spencer. Blah. But like Derek Kelsey does a lot, and y'all can look him up too. He is actually on Instagram and he's on Facebook. He motivates, he helps his students, and people grow into true athletes.
Exceptional. Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. When I say luxury, I do mean luxury. These are handcrafted pieces. For most of them, we talking shoes, we talking outerwear, garments, things of that nature. He takes a high level of, detail and attention to every piece. And when I call it a piece, I mean because it's more reminiscent of a piece of art as opposed to a piece of clothing. So once again, it is Tyler Bailey. You can look him up. Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. My cousin Mike, he's en route. I think he said closer to the end of the year, but I did see some content that he had posted on State of Being. It was in reference to the whole flat earth theory and this and that. Now, me personally, I believe the earth is round, but my mission ain't to discredit anything. Since he got facts to back his, and I ain't never been to outer space. So, I'm just taking it at face value. What they told me is what they told me. But if you wish to go and indulge in that conversation with him currently, that's what he's currently on. But also on top of that, he's always in the space talking about positivity, putting things into the universe, also doing good for your community, things like that. So go ahead, go check him out, see him in that aspect. D-Mac, he's a barber. You should see him. I should see him. And
I need to see him.
You should probably see him. I really, it is what it is. That's why we shout him out. On top of that, I care the people who are bringing this to you right now, the real people, the real deal, is us. That is something. The number 4, DA people. If you're on YouTube, type podcast. That's going to minimize those search results and bring us up a whole lot quicker. I need you to go ahead, like, share, comment. Tell your friends about this. Tell them, and then have them put in comments and information. And if they see so fit, they can go ahead and give us a 5-star rating on all your podcasts and platforms. Because yes, we reached a point where I can comfortably say that if you listen to podcasts, you should be able to find us without a doubt. Okay? One more time, and this is for the people that are in the back. It is something, the number 4, DA people. YouTube, type podcast, you're going to find us. All right. We're going to give you what you've been waiting for. You won't believe this. CBS News polls women and finds out half of all married women or single women have a plan B waiting just in case their partner is not up to snuff.
See, this is what irritates my soul, because as well as I do as a dude, only way you have a plan B waiting is if you've been working constantly on that plan B. But we know as well, every dude should know. As a woman, you could not you could just be friends with a dude for a couple of years. Right. He waiting for it. He's just waiting for it. That's why, women always like, oh, well, you still got women's numbers and all that kind of stuff, because we actually have to set up and work.
Got to maintain that relationship.
Yeah. You have to maintain, and you can't just maintain just the friendship. You got just it could possibly be a little more. But women could just maintain a friendship, a regular old friendship, right? And the dude's still waiting. It's like, oh, well. But 50% Honestly, it said it was higher. But
yeah, well, you said I think you told me the real number was 70%.
yes, they were talking about around 70% of women, whether you're married or single, have a man that is like he could possibly be your next boyfriend or your next husband.
I feel like the number has to be inflated. Reason being, because you already mentioned it. It's always a dude willing to pick up slack. It's always a dude who I'll take second place. You ain't gotta. They say these women maintaining these relationships as a plan B, but when I hear the maintenance and why I think the 50% is what they saying is because when they say the 50% of these women are actively screwing that guy. That's they say active. I just feel like that's an active cheating number.
Yeah.
70% they just saying, oh, you keep in contact with a dude who could potentially be that guy.
Yeah.
So it's like you just say hi every now and then, because really that's all you got to do. If you find enough and you that dude type and he feel like you the one who got away, you ain't got to do no real maintenance on a relationship.
Yeah.
You just got to exist long enough for something to fall apart.
And that's where I don't know, as a dude, and I'm like, we always get the short end of the stick. But then I'm like, I think part of it is we put ourselves into that position and get the short end.
Well, it's based on how the relationship is built in the first place. Men, you have to upfront show value. You have to. Every man going into a relationship has to go in with some value. Like, I'm already valuable. You don't build your value because women, hey, I ain't gotta say that I'm beneficial when we have kids, because if we ain't got them, then I ain't gotta show you my value system. I ain't gotta show you that I'm valuable.
Yeah,
I just gotta be pretty for now. So when you do get a woman and you do put in a new title, like, hey, she wife now. Okay, so now you gotta show me that you wifey material. Because girlfriend, that's one set of rules. Wife, that's one set of rules. Mother, that's a whole nother set of rules. For guys, what you provide is constant. When you boyfriend, you need to protect your girlfriend and value her, show her that she worth this. When you become her husband, you need to still protect this woman and value this woman and make sure that she feels that.
Yeah.
When you become a father, now you just increase the load. You need to respect, love, and make sure her and these kids are protected. You don't switch up. You gotta maintain your roles from day one to the end. And if in any case you seek to maximize that as you go forward, but it's still the bread and butter. You do that to the end. Women, on the other hand, your girlfriend may or may not be able to cook, but if you intend to live in today's society, she needs to get a cookbook before you have kids, because eating out every day, I'm telling you, my buddy, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, you can't do it and have healthy kids, and on top of having healthy kids, have a nutritious meal consistent. Nah, you'll run your pockets dry.
But
and I don't care who you
I was like, man, hold up, so 50%. Like, now for me, I can maintain friends. I'd be cool. But I couldn't see myself, I'm setting she possibly be my girlfriend right there. She gonna be my girlfriend, she gonna be my girlfriend, she gonna be my girlfriend if you mess up.
But you gotta understand, a woman would have to willingly be in a space to wait.
Yeah.
Men, on the other hand, you have to put in applications for every woman that you're trying to pursue. Every time you see an attractive woman, you have to initiate and get her to say, okay, I can see you as a viable candidate for the position of boyfriend. With women, it ain't necessarily that way. You looking at it like, would he want this job? How do I make sure that I'm still a job that he would want? Because he ain't put in no application. But I know if the job was open, he put one in right away. So it's just like they are more on guys we on the Instagram level. It's like, we gotta present, it let people know, hey, come be a follower. This how it work. Whereas women, they really on the OnlyFans level. If they want more people to watch their content, just drop the paywall for a couple days. Like you don't have to pay to see this, and people be like, oh, this is interesting. Let me shoot my shot. But with us, we gotta keep the content interesting throughout. The biggest
if they lose interest,
they lost interest.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you have to make yourself and your content, your brand, so luxury that hey, I want to be part of that team. Yeah. So the biggest mouthpiece a guy like yourself or me would be our wives.
Yeah.
If you if Lord forbid, but if for some odd reason you and your wife did decide to call it Splitsville, her ability to stay cordial with you for the kids is going to reflect way higher than anything you could do.
But that also brings up the point. A dude would talk about how good his wife is, how much he loves his wife and stuff like that. Right. But it just seems like nowadays a lot of women don't want to tell other women, nah, I ain't giving you that up, bro.
No, because
he cool.
At the end of the day, they have to... If a woman says you're cool during the breakup phase, then they're out in their mind. They're outright admitting that I was the problem. A guy, on the other hand, it don't matter what I do. You always gonna be like, whatever caused her to leave, he wasn't enough.
Yeah.
So whether you didn't provide enough security, financial, physical, whatever, you just didn't keep it attractive. You didn't make the look. It's always a guy. At the end is always in the space of accepting accountability.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what? It didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I could have did this better. Maybe I could have did this better. Maybe that would have kept her around. A woman, on the other hand, no. It ain't me. It's him. Unless, like I said, if you can get a woman to a point where she like, yeah, I messed that up.
But how many actual women have you ever heard? Yeah, I messed that up.
I'm just saying. If you was able to get that would be the highest praise that any woman can give a man, especially a man going into the dating world. Nah, girl, I messed that up. What? Her best friend gonna call you. A girl say, I messed that up, her sister call you. If her mama single, her mama gonna reach out. Hopefully her mama reaching out to fix the relationship with him. But the sister, she probably looking out for herself.
I've heard moms actually tell their daughter, you gonna miss out on a good man.
Yeah.
Like you'll hear mama say that, but you don't ever hear like, oh man, I messed that up. Like I missed the, obviously he wasn't the man for me. It's always some kind of bullcrap excuse.
It's a shock because when you start taking accountability and trying to figure out, well, what did I go wrong? Then that deep reflection sometimes it's a little too painful. Yeah. It's like a little too hurt. Like, wait, you mean to tell me that I'm gonna look at myself and say that I messed up? I'm the reason for my mess ups right now. It's just me. A guy, you don't have no choice because the world forces that on you all the time. You think about this. Right now, if you went out and bought a big red Cadillac, put 20 folds on it, and you drove down the street and got pulled over, the first thing you going to say is, it ain't all y'all racially profiling me. It's going to be like, it's the car. I knew I couldn't be a big black man in this big red caddy on big red 20 folds riding down the street. I'm calling attention to myself. This is my fault. You figure out how you were the problem.
Yeah.
If you go out and you talking to a girl and the day get cut short, instantly you be like, man, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't. You always try to figure out how. A man is in a constant state of turning losses to lessons.
Yeah. How could I have been better? What could I have did different?
The world has set women up on the opposite. it's like, hey, they don't view it as losses. They view it as missed opportunities for the other person. Because we've been spending so much time preaching this, you the prize, you the prize, you the prize. When, like I said earlier in this, I told you off the rip, a guy who is not valuable is not sought after. Like you have to go into every relationship, whether it be business, like an actual man and woman relationship. Every one of those, you have to go in with some form of value, because otherwise they don't want you around.
Yeah.
If you not if you're not attractive enough, your bank account ain't big enough, your whatever it is, whatever they looking for, you have to have it to even be let in the door. Whereas for women, for the most part, it's 3 before 11.
Yeah.
And it's just how it works. Yeah, most times 3 before 11. So if you ain't got it, then you're going to push right past you.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. But I'm like 50% of women, 50%. So it's like basically 1 out of 2 is like, I got just in case, you mess up. Kind of things like that.
Yeah.
Now, the idea I look at is if you are a woman and you do have other options, when you start having them kids, them options, I guarantee, will change.
They drop off.
Because it's like, hold up. Yeah, and don't get it twisted. There's a difference between, yes, he want to screw you, and he's willing to be in a relationship with you. Like, you got 2 other kids by another dude. It's kind of hard to say a dude's going to be like, I'm willing to take on that responsibility.
That's what you should say. You said that perfect. The responsibility level for women. You need to try to minimize the amount of responsibility a dude's gonna take on when he take you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you going out and you being like, well, you shouldn't have got me pregnant. That's a problem. Why are you in a position to get pregnant by somebody who is not going to accept the responsibility for what he just did?
Yeah.
Now I'm not trying to make any man exempt. If you out here making babies with a lady and you ain't gonna be responsible for them, you trash. But you as a woman, knowing full well that he ain't really that dude. He ain't showed you in any space under any reason that he gonna be somebody that's gonna maintain a quality relationship, at least enough of a communication to y'all can raise these kids, either whether it be physically together or in a space to where, hey, we cordial enough to make sure these kids know they loved.
Yeah.
If you can't find a dude that's gonna at least do that, then don't be opening your legs for him.
Yeah.
If you got if the dude you got in your second place is really running a race better than your dude you put in first place, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because at that point you just showed me I ain't really care who was the fastest runner on the track. I just wanted to know who looked best running.
Yeah.
Just like you got good form, but he faster, but he got good form. He got the chain on. He got the rented Jordans. He got the look of a runner. Whereas the other dude, he don't look like a runner, but he sure is fast. When I need something, he moves real fast on my behalf to get that for me.
But that's because that person, I'm just saying, it may be from my thought process, but I think a lot of times those second place dudes and stuff like that, the reason why they stay kind of right there in second place is because they were too easy to get, easy to keep on the team.
You ain't assertive. At a certain point, there has to be a space to where it's things that I'm going to accept and it's things I'm not going to accept. And I don't care how fine you is. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
If you ain't going to do me a certain way, you going as much as I show you love, you going to show me that much respect.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't going to send me to go buy you fries and I can't get a sandwich after I knocked you down. You ain't gonna do me that way. I just put in work. I done clapped them cheeks, and I put it down. Hey, I'm hungry. Yeah. I just exerted a lot of energy right here. I did. You satisfied. My stomach is empty. I'm not finna fix my own sandwich. If I gotta fix that sandwich, we can't.
That's the crazy part, because there's dudes out here just waiting in the wings to be second place.
And dudes love one. Don't get it confused. There is a for some men, second place is prime location. Perks, no responsibility.
That's if you actually getting the perks.
But I'm saying that for that 50%, like I said, for that 50%, there's a lot of dudes out here getting perks, no responsibility. So yeah, they like, hey. You know what I'm saying? I get to knock her down, send her home, and I ain't got to worry about, what all that come with that. Whatever. Yeah, I'm with, but a lot of women feel like they got that dude waiting in the wings, but the truth is, he just your sneaky link.
Yeah.
He really linked up to somebody else. He just ain't told you. You gonna get, if your girl get mad that one of her homeboys got married, you need to recognize what just took place. Wait. She just lost a sneaky link. That's all it is. She got to go renegotiate that contract.
It was the skit that this dude was over in the car talking to his friend. He was like, man, I don't think I could do this. He's like, bro, what's wrong? He's like, no, man, I ain't no first place dude. I want to be the second place. He's like, I don't want to be here. He's like, man, come on, bro. How about you be a main dude? He's like, no, bro, I'm gone. He's like, no, bro. I ain't no first place boyfriend.
I'm not.
I won't be him.
I gotta care about her well-being. Oh, man, come on, bro.
I gotta start working, trying to figure out what we gonna do, what this is.
Bro, I'm here for Netflix and chill, not for when things get real. I'm not him.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm for some, you know what I'm saying, look, Hulu and bedroom Hulu. I'm not for the rest of it. Like I'm here to clap cheeks, not clean cheeks as a father. That's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
Not that guy. And that's what they saying. Like, you think he waiting in the wings, but he gonna still be the dude waiting in the wings when that relationship resolve itself. Like, it's dissolved, it has gone away. He's still gonna be your sneaky link, and you gonna go and find you some other dude.
Like, I heard another one where he was on the phone with the girl, and she was like, man, I can't stand him no more. Man, I'm about to break up with him. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. And then he was like, oh, so what you gonna do once y'all break up? He's like, oh, I'm gonna find something real. I think I already found it. He was like, what do you mean? He was like, oh, well, I'm thinking about seeing what this really gonna be with you. Next thing you know, you hear the
hello?
I mean,
but that's the truth.
Yeah.
Character is a big deal. If that dude willing to wait in the rafters for you to get out of the game, he wasn't meant to be in the game.
Yeah.
Like, if he a bench woman, he gonna be a bench woman regardless if you put him on the court or off. He don't know how to play.
Yeah.
So if you got him waiting, he wasn't a star to begin with. He gonna end up waiting again.
He just knew how to play that one position.
He just knew how to play. He just knew how to keep the bench warm, or he knew how to water boy well. He ain't for real. That's what it is. All right, so we gonna double down on this. Another, you won't believe this, and I really didn't believe this, but hey, it is what it is. 1/5 of Gen Z people, that's the youth. 1/5 of the Generation Z are bringing their parents to job interview. I ain't never needed a co-signer for a job.
But see, this is one, and I hate to just say it, man. The way that a lot of these young kids have grown up, you need your mama and daddy for everything. Mainly your mama. Like, you need your mama to hold your hand, tell you everything's okay, tell you to tuck in your shirt and tie your tie and all this. And I'm like, why you bring your mama to your job interview? Like, oh, mama, won't you come in and talk to my new boy? What the hell for?
If I saw that, I'd be like, bro, I don't intend to make your mom your supervisor and or your manager. So you should have been able to manage in this interview on your own.
this just makes me think. I'm like, you hadn't grown up to be an adult. Like, even you may be adult age now. You done graduated college, but your mama here?
What your mama doing here?
Look, what your mama gonna do for you? You think I'm gonna hire you because, Miss Gladys said, hey.
He's a good worker.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, he cleans his room.
Yeah.
And he does all the things. He puts up the groceries when I ask him. Oh, well, he gets up and he was going to school. And I'm like, the hell your mama supposed to do?
Accolades supposed to do that on you. If you have reached a point to where what you've done, the accolades you've acquired through life don't speak for themselves. Like, the degree, my degree is still my degree, regardless of whether my mama co-signed or not. I got people who I have no idea what they do when they leave this building or that campus that can vouch. That guy can do that.
Yeah.
Now that I've been in the working world, there's companies that I'm one of the only people I know can go back to Walmart and apply for a job and most likely get it.
They won't go back to Walmart. Granted, anyways.
I'm just stating that just speaks to the
Walmart's
caliber.
The devil.
That just speaks to the caliber of work I am. Most times in a Walmart setting, it is a messed up situation to work in. It is a trash job for teenagers and adults alike. But I know if I go and apply and get back, I will be just fine. My work ethic is sound enough to where I can work a trash job or I can work a quality job like the one I have now or the one I had before this or the one I had before this. Because if I call them and tell them, hey, I just need to come back to work, they gon' without question say, hey, yeah, come on. Just pull up.
But it's bad because, you have your resume, you have all the jobs, things you have, and you've done your achievements, accomplishments. That's what you put on your resume. You know what he gonna put? And one of these students, one of these Gen Zers gonna put on there? My mama said I was good.
My mama said but you actually speak louder than words. You don't believe me? Mama, tell him. I mean, like, yeah, mom, tell me what he's like.
Mm-hmm. Did he tell me about your son.
So you checked every problem and he got every homework problem correct? Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
So I'm like, if they showing up to your job interview, what's next? You gonna be showing up to a date? No, you don't want to date my son or date my daughter.
You know what? Hey, bro. Now you playing about it.
Nah.
First
bro.
date. Bro,
you know as well as I do.
Bro, they don't want to go. They don't want to go on coffee dates. I'm gonna be like, yo, you want steak dinner for the first date? Cool. My mama gonna be here too. I'm buying your steak and my mama's steak.
There is no woman. I do mean none.
So I can't have standards too. Whoever I get with, my mama has to approve of her. She got to make sure I ain't dealing with a gold digger skank. And since I got
y'all put it in the bottom, do you believe that'll work?
This is what I'm saying. Since I got to deal with women out here today who, off the rip, I got to be showing up with the highest of high financially. You want to go to Fugo de Chow day one, first date. You want to go to Perry's first date, first situation. I want to know, is she wifey material first time I meet you? And currently in my situation, the relationship that I seen last the test of time, my mother and my father. Mama, sit right here. Now, no, I'm not asking you any questions. My mama gonna take, cause my mama know me. Talk to her while I eat my steak. While I eat this, talk. I'm on my T-bone right now. So what is your intention with my son? If I want my mom to be cutthroat real. I know my son. So is he finna hit tonight? Because if he not, he.
You know what's bad is because I was explaining to my wife, because this was a while back. I was explaining to my wife, it's like, your daddy know that I'm sleeping with you. He's like, how you know? I'm like, if you look at where you at? You over here with me. Where's everybody else at? And over there with him. Understand it like this. Your dad noticed it. He just don't want to have to talk about it. So as long as nothing come up that he has to talk about, he good.
Cool.
And then when we got her pregnant with our first child, and her dad was like, so what happened? And she was like, what do you mean what happened? He's like, what happened? Like, you sounding dumb right now. And he was like, I know y'all were messing around and all that other stuff. So it's bad because the little smirk hit the side of my mouth because she didn't believe he knew. And I'm like, of course he knows. I'm like, so one of the things that I had told her, I'm like, I guarantee you, my mama knew from you first talking to her, she know her son. And I'm like, I guarantee, if you ask her right now, what's she gonna say? Well, what if I told your mama we weren't sleeping together? She's either gonna call you a liar, or she gonna say y'all won't be together for long because she know her son. So apparently she decides to try her that day. You. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, mama, she don't believe me. So go and ask her. Like, why you gonna put me on the spot? You don't believe me. So go and ask. Like, oh, what would you say if I said me and your son wasn't sleeping together? You a liar? Or he cheating on you or something? There's no way my son, I know my son, and those were her exact words. There's no way my son is not going to be getting something out of this that he won't. Yeah. And I know what he won't. So I just started laughing. She's like, why you gotta laugh like that?
Because I told you. You didn't believe me. And that's why I'm telling you, in the beginning, I was preaching 90-day broke. Every dude should go on 90 days worth of dates with a new woman and just be broke. We need to figure out how we gonna kick it and chill for 90 days without me spending a dime. Now, don't get it confused. I understand gas. That's not realistic. I understand that, hey, you got to eat something, but you need to eat like we broke. So you can set up the simulation that for better or for worse. We going to start with the worst. It only gets better from here. By 90 days, you are able to open up your bank account, do whatever you feel. But that first 90 day broke. I guarantee it'll put you in a good space. But
it'll put you in a good space. But it's going to X a lot of ladies out. Yeah. And I do mean a lot.
It's twice as many of them as it is of you, bro. You'll be fine. Trust me. You know what I'm saying? Because at that point, if you able to do that and she able to stick around, that lets me know that you've ascended to, above minimum, because you got this thing called discipline. Discipline is the barometer for life. If you discipline, you get more. If you're not disciplined, you have less. Disciplined people wait to buy the shoes. Undisciplined people go rent them. That's how that works. Easy. What I will say now, if you for some odd reason cannot and you just don't believe in 90-day broke, I got a new one. Mama cosign. So for that first date that I'm finna take you on, because I can't take you to Cheesecake Factory, I can't take you to Chili's, I can't take you on a coffee. I can't take you on a coffee date. You know what? I'm gonna bring my mom on a date. That should make you as a woman feel extremely secure. Cause I'm finna buy 3 steaks tonight. My steak, your steak, and her steak,
and my mama's steak.
And only thing I request is that when you talk, understand if my mama say you a mistake. Check, please. You got to prove it to her now.
Yeah.
My mama finna be the one who finna search out the gold diggers and the skanks. I'm just going to sit here and enjoy my steak.
I'm going to just be real with you. That whole thing, and of course, they would love for their mama to do that, but they are not going to be cool with dude bringing his mama along. And dude mama going to be cutthroat with him real quick.
You going to have to show me. I want my mama to come in and be like, oh, yeah, because we already know how the first few minutes going to go. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, how you doing? Who is this? Oh, this is my mama. Okay, well, see you later. That's a couple of it's gonna be some be like, it's still steak. You know, couple of these loose women, they still, you know, persistent. So they gonna sit down. All right, cool beans, sit down. Bring a couple menus. We got them. We sit down, and then she gonna get to talking to me. You know, like, so this what you wear? This what you decide to put on? Mm-hmm. Oh, so okay, do your thing. Then once you get to talking crazy, like, you know, I prefer to have Louis and Gucci, and then my mama gonna bring that truth up. Oh, Louis, Gucci, Birkins. So how often are you busting it? Like, what do you do? Can you cook? I want my mama. This first question I want my mama to ask as soon as you get out there. And I know people like, oh, he always come with this cookie. He's so mess. Nah, I just want to know. Mama, go ahead and ask her while I get this. I'm gonna go to this restroom because I gotta go to the restroom. 10 minutes in, I'm going to the restroom. So can you cook? How many kids you want to have? So do you want to work? I want my mama to just be Kevin Samuels. Just Kevin her up right now. And when I get back, if she's still sitting here when I get back, Mama, it's okay. You can leave. Thank you.
Man, I'm sorry. There's not. You may get one, maybe.
You may get one, but I guarantee you, she is the one.
Yeah, because everybody else like, oh hell no,
it's too high.
Question.
But what I'm saying is the unrealistic expectations of the dating world from the women's side is so outlandish to the point where you got to match ignorance with ignorance now, bro.
Did you hear that one where they were talking crazy about the it was this one lady on there talking about, oh, you couldn't work for the city. Like, you couldn't be a firefighter, you couldn't be a police officer, you couldn't be all these other things. It's like, oh, you can't work in retail, you can't work at McDonald's. Even if you're the manager, you shouldn't be working there. I was like, God dang. It's like, oh,
but a street pharmacist is okay.
Yeah. Or people always keep saying that goddamn entrepreneur. Don't get me wrong, an entrepreneur is great if you have a legitimate business. But your entrepreneurship should not be, oh, well, I work for myself. What you do? I sell pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Or I'm a scammer.
Yeah. Like, but I'm telling you, it's women out there who gonna take that scammer 10 times out of 10. They don't want, like, I'm telling you, bro. The image of success for a lot of people is far more important than actual success. A dude really working for the city and got a higher position in the city work, when y'all retire and he no longer can dodge bullets, y'all still gonna be straight.
They said 60, 70,000 is not a lot of money. I'm like, where are you at? Like, maybe if you were in New York. Up north. But in New York, I guarantee the police officers starting out way higher than 60, 70.
Yeah.
As a trash man, you at least starting out at 80.
Yeah, you doing good. So, like I said, in order for this to work, fam, because we going back to it. If the jobs require, if you feel confident enough to bring your mama or your father to your job interview to vouch for you as a person.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to couple that and be like, hey, maybe they own to something here. The only difference is you the boss of your life. So now you need to go through if I gotta show my hand and play poker with the cards face down, like face up on the first day, either I got it or not. Because the first thing they're gonna say if you tell them I can't take you to steakhouse, they're gonna be like, if you broke, just say that. You right. I ain't broke. Mama, tell her what would go. If you ain't a lady, just say that. If you ain't a real woman, just say that.
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't actually cute, just say that. Don't bury yourself in this makeup, babe. If you not what you is, just say that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna put. I'm gonna leave right though. For me, I'm gonna leave right.
No, we're good.
I'm gonna leave right though.
Okay.
This has been another episode of Something for the People.
Yeah, I'll be easy.
Hold it down.